Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this special called meeting of the Danville City Commission for this Monday, already November the 23rd, and the hour is 5:31. And I will call us to order. Please note that Rick Sears is not with us tonight, as he called in and told us. I would ask that we be led in prayer by Commissioner Denise Terry.
Thank you. Please pray with me. Almighty God, I'm asking you to put peace in the hearts of those who are filled with hate. I pray that all plans to destroy this country will fail. I ask you to help find what will end COVID-19. I ask for you to guide all people toward you and toward peace. Thank you for all the blessings you have given my family and this city. I ask that you keep us safe from harm, danger, sickness, disease, and to keep us mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually well, so we may contribute our best to our fellow citizens. I pray that you give us the opportunity and the courage to love and encourage others wherever they are. Bless and protect our first responders and our militaries as they protect our freedoms. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, ma'am. Ann Yeager-McCroskey, would you like to come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Nice. Come right on up here.
I haven't done this since elementary school.
I know, it begins with the word, no, come right on up here, come right on up here. It begins with the words, I pledge.
My 3-year-old's learning it, so.
There you go, all right.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Don't go away.
You ready to shoot you there?
Don't go away.
Thank you for your efforts. As always, you did good. I'll tell Earl Adams something good about you.
Commission, I assume, has not heard otherwise, that the agenda for tonight meets your approval.
Yes,
We'll go right on into hear the public. This is the public's opportunity to bring forth any comments or questions about anything that is on tonight's agenda.
There are none.
Seeing none, we will move on into item 1. There will be an opportunity later to do the same, but broaden it to any topic you wish.
I'd like to make a note of the counselor's arrival time for billing purposes.
So noted. Item 1 is the approval of the minutes from the previous meeting, November the 9th, and November the 16th. Chair will entertain a motion for the approval.
I move for approval of the minutes of November 9th, and November 16th as presented.
Second.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Any discussion? Seeing none, I will call the question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 2. Heart of Danville, welcome. We're looking forward to hearing an update from you. Feel free to adjust the microphone, make sure it's on.
Green. So we're here to give a couple of different updates. First of all, on the Christmas parade, what we're working on, which y'all cross your fingers and hold your mouth right, that nothing changes. We're in a fluid COVID situation. So everything could change with Thanksgiving or a new governor's mandate next week, who knows. But what we're hoping to get done in 2 weeks, on December 5th, is to have a reverse Christmas parade where the participants who would normally walk down the street line up on Main Street in front of every other building, so we have them distanced. But these would be, they could be manned or unmanned floats. They could be The Humane Society is planning on bringing some animals because they can space out and they can socially distance themselves. So within groups, they can socially distance themselves. And then each group would be socially distanced down the street.
All right, we
So
understand.
it would be longer than normal,
Yes.
if that makes sense. And what Chief Gray has said, he wants it to start at Fifth Street and go to Second Street. So then we're hoping for the arrival of Santa at the corner of Second and Main and the Boyle County Band there to kind of be the end of the parade. So the people watching will actually be driving their cars through it down Main Street. And so they will be the ones moving. So families could be together in their car. We're working with our local radio station, so you turn it to Hometown Radio Live, and you would get to hear about what you're seeing going down the street. So that's why I say fingers crossed, and numbers don't go up, and everything
Yes.
can fall into place. Hopefully, that's what will happen. But next week it could change, so.
You say the time?
Time.
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, December 5th. And we would love, and that's why it starts at 5th, to include City Hall. So y'all could all be out front and socially distanced and sharing the love.
What would, you said, cross your heart, hold your mouth right.
Yes.
What would change,
The governor's mandates.
okay.
The governor's mandates, the participation is fluid right now. We're kind of everybody's kind of waiting to see what happens next. So we have a handful of people who want to participate, but we don't want anyone, and we worked with Brent Blevins at the health department first to make sure that this was something that would be, we were looking for something that was COVID positive, or to keep COVID at bay and to be COVID friendly, but something we could still do for the community, something that could be, I mean, we know we can't all come together like we have in the past and gather around the Christmas tree, so this was another way that we could still celebrate the Christmas tree, we could have everyone out, but be safe at the same time.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Any questions, any comments?
You gonna light the tree that night?
Hmm?
You gonna light the tree that night?
Well, that's number 5.
Just wait. There's a plan.
Oh, okay.
Anything else?
And if that falls through, if for any reason we don't get to have the parade, if we don't have the participation, or if there are other governor mandates that would preclude that, then we have another little backup plan. Since Santa has said that he will be stopping in Danville that night, then we think we'll have a little live from Santa, if nothing else. To the
Well, all
children
right.
of Danville.
Okay.
So we have a backup plan just in case. We'll see.
Do you have a backup for the backup?
No, Santa's the biggest backup we got. He's the big guy, you know.
Anything else, ma'am?
Yes, we also have an update from our Economic Vitality Chair, in case you all don't know her, Lisa Thompson.
Hello.
Hello.
So again, my name is Lisa Thompson. I'm the chair of the Economic Vitality Committee. I sort of like to call it the Business Development Committee. So, you know, we really struggled, honestly, starting in March when the pandemic sort of really started to take over our lives. So we, as a committee, sort of thought about, okay, what are the 2 things that we can really do to help our downtown businesses? One, we needed to provide quick and immediate relief to them. So a lot of those things came in the way of loans and things like that were packaged from the state government. And then we looked at how can we work locally to help our businesses pivot and adapt to what was going on. As some of you know, I work at the Kentucky Heritage Council, so I'm very privy to a lot of information from the National Main Street Center and the Kentucky Main Street Center. And it's really interesting because starting back in April, they did a lot of surveys, and Danville actually participated in one of them. 27 of our businesses in our local Main Street area participated, and we can drill down and look at that data, like at a macro level specific to Danville. And I have to tell you, it didn't look very promising. It was really sort of frightening, because in the beginning, a lot of them said that if this lasted 2 or 3 months, that they would be out of business. So that really really stark, was really sort of disappointing to us about what are we going to do to help them. However, it's really interesting because in the intervening months, the Main Street Center has continued to do these surveys. And what we've seen is that the small businesses that are located in Main Street program areas are actually succeeding better than those without that support. So in Kentucky alone, there have been 71 new businesses in Main Street areas. And just in Danville, we welcomed a new shop this month. So Anderson's has relocated from the Greenleaf Shopping Center down to where Grace Cafe formerly was. So we're really happy to have them in our district.
What company was that?
Anderson's,
They're a boutique and interior design firm, and last month we had another boutique open up on Main Street, Pure Bliss Boutique.
Pure Bliss, yeah.
So we've actually had two new businesses. And then if you, we have more things going on, but
Yeah.
they're mostly service.
Yeah. So it's interesting that Danville sort of is still showing the same signs that they're seeing on the national level. So this Saturday is actually Small Business Saturday. So I just want to remind everybody, it's going to look and feel a little bit different this year. I mean, our whole holiday shopping is going to look and feel different. So we all need to get out and support our small businesses. And also because the Heart of Danville is part of the Kentucky Main Street program, we are actually partnering with the Tourism, Heritage, and Arts Cabinet, who is working on a small business campaign as well that the Heart of Danville is a part of.
Maple Tree Gallery was just featured on Kentucky Main Street's Facebook page for their private shopping hours. One of the initiatives that we put forward to try to help our businesses look for ways to accommodate safe shopping in downtown Maple.
Yeah, so it's really been interesting to watch how the businesses have all pivoted to doing the private shopping hours, like Ann just said, doing online stores. A lot of them didn't have online presences back in March, but now they're starting to transfer to that. They're doing sales live on Facebook, on Instagram. They're offering gift certificates, menus online for a lot of the restaurants. And they're also doing curbside pickup and delivery so that you can have a safe shopping experience that's really sort of no contact. So what's interesting is that while all of our small businesses are really working overtime to provide safer experiences, they're rearranging their stores, they're adding online shopping sites, they're changing their models from like the restaurants are now having to figure out how to do carryout and delivery and those kind of things. There's two things that they really can't do on their own. And I think that's where the Heart of Danville would like to partner with the city. And that's really how do we expand outdoor dining options for them? And is it possible that we can designate curbside delivery and pickup areas in our sort of the main 5 or 6 blocks of our service area?
It kind of goes with the master plan that you've all been working on, so.
Yes.
That's where we want to bring it to you as another option and something to think about. Blocking off a couple of parking spaces in front of stores and restaurants downtown to allow for that quick curbside delivery or pickup would probably be very helpful to our businesses right now.
And then just any additional ideas that we can think of about providing sort of safe areas to create more outside dining. That's warm, that's convenient for all the businesses. I went up to Cincinnati this past weekend, and when you drive through, Cincinnati and the northern Kentucky neighborhoods, they are putting up tents a lot of times that are communal in parking lots and things like that the restaurants can then service. They've got on the tables, they've got QR codes with all the different menus, so you can go in there, sit down, pop your phone out, look at your QR code, order your food, and then, Harvey's or Jane Barleycorn or somebody can deliver it straight to you. So I just wish that as a community and as one of your partners, that we could talk about how to make something like that possible for our restaurants.
Have you coalesced the restaurants to get their input on that? What would it take for them to do that?
Well, we have been talking to each of them.
We've been reaching out.
Yeah.
So since this just happened on Friday, a lot of the restaurants are still trying to figure out, like, Bluegrass Pizza Pub was questioning exactly what their hours are going to be. The Hub is still doing ordering online. Some of their indoor seating will be closed. through the weekend, and
Yeah.
so probably by tomorrow, we'll have all the hours. I've reached out to all the different restaurants to see who's staying open, what they're doing, and what their hours are gonna be. So, and a lot of just trying to get through
Sure.
the holiday crunch here through the weekend.
It may be on me. I have not seen much in the way of advertising shop local. I may have just missed it.
So we've been doing, the Heart of Danville did live videos. We've been doing them in all the downtown stores. A couple of our stores reported the best weekends they've had because they're, and I love it because some of them are starting, who haven't been very active on social media, have become much more active. So what we did was we did tours of the stores on a live Facebook so that people could see what was in the store. And if you watch it, it's me talking and tell you all the things I want to. It's not like tomorrow. Just driving, just so you know.
We got you covered, right, Kevin?
There are lots of suggestions if you want to watch those live tonight.
All right.
You have time. But, and that's been a big thing, so that people at home, number one, could either pick up the phone and call a lot of our businesses. A lot of people came in, and then we put it out last weekend, the idea about doing private shopping hours, after hours, before hours, and all of our merchants just jumped on that because, so 3 of them have put out posts. Maple Tree Gallery, Derby Shop, and Cersei have all posted yesterday that they would be doing private shopping hours. So yes, I do on my Facebook page, Mayor. Lots of lives. You can listen to me all the time.
I saw some of the lives. You got to follow Heart of Danville.
Yeah.
So my first thought, just off the top of my head, is can we arrange something in Whitaker Park? Of course, we'd have to address the alcohol sales. I'm guessing that would not be allowed. But would something in Whitaker work?
Yes, we were doing a pop-up, so we could think about continuing that, and maybe we could just talk to Earl about the logistics of it. The problem right now is the weather.
Yeah.
So that's why in most places they've been putting up tents and that kind of thing. But we can work on the logistics. We just wanted to bring you all some ideas of things that are happening other places and what we're putting forward to try to help the businesses so that hopefully we can work together. Because the next month is gonna be hard on them.
While you're here, you're without an executive director. Where are you in things? What's the plan?
Well, we'll start an official search the first of the year. Just putting together a search committee is the next step, and then we'll launch an official search after the first of the year, get through the holidays. No one has extra time at the moment, but we'll launch that the first of the year. We actually have a candidate from our
Anything
last
else?
search who's also interested, so he's also a candidate.
Any other questions or comments?
No, I was just going to mention, talking about the weather and outdoor dining, I unfortunately, spent a lot of time in Cleveland recently, and they have the little, those bump out, what do we call them, parquettes or whatever. And they have those domed propane
Heaters?
heater things, which, is not going to help all winter, but it would help through some of the cooler fall days. I didn't know if that's something we could consider, or if that has, what the downside of that might be liability-wise. I don't know. It's just something I saw and thought it was a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
Anything else?
Yes, so we will be back after Turkey Day with our strategic plan. So we have that, and we'll get those to you ahead of time so that we can go through it all. Okay.
Thank you both for your time.
Thank you.
Good
Right.
report. Yep.
Happy birthday and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Pearl Harbor Day's right around the corner.
I'm not getting anything for that.
What?
Item 3 is Resolution 2020-11-23-01. This is the approval of the Kentucky Utilities Tree Grant application. I don't know if Bo is here or not.
He is not. He sent me, Mayor, an email to read, if I may, if you'll indulge me.
Please.
And we will read from his email. It says, "I request permission to apply on behalf of the city for the Kentucky Utilities Foundation matching grant to plant trees under their Plant the Planet program. This is the 8th year we have applied for this program. In most of these years, we have been successful in getting the grant. So it's been, and we definitely concur, it's a hugely successful endeavor in our minds. Quote, for our 2021 planning, our priority will be to plant the new section of the walking trail sidewalk along the northern bypass around Danville, west of Kentucky 34, and another 20 trees will be planted along the pedestrian trail going into Millennium Park, along Cunningham Way. The city, again, will plant and maintain the trees, led by Public Works Director Rick Henry, and then the Cooperative Extension Services horticulturalist Alexis Emery Sheffield picks the species for us, and the Beautification Committee member Janet Hamner works to secure pricing and secure the trees for the foundation. And of course, Wilderness Trace works through the purchase. At this time, we have 63 households and local businesses, including the Garden Club, that has contributed the $5,000 for the year we're in. And Dr. Weston, professor at Center College, is the chief fundraiser for the program, and he is also the local contact for the project. So we're excited, and certainly as staff and community members certainly ask that we be authorized to submit the grant and present it for you.
I would move for approval of Resolution 2020-11-2301.
Thank you, Commissioner Cottle. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Commissioner Terry. Any discussion?
Thanks to Bo again.
Same-
Labor of love for him.
Exactly. No further discussion. Chair call the question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 5 is the tree lighting ceremony update. Ms. Rader?
You skipped number 4. You skipped number 4.
Well, I did, didn't I? Sorry. Number 4, second reading of ordinance number 1957. This is the revocation of ordinance number 1948. Madam Clerk, would you like to read that ordinance, please?
This is the second reading of ordinance number 1957, an ordinance revoking ordinance number 1948 that previously amended Chapter 16 Taxation, Article 1 in general of the Code of Ordinances for the City of Danville, Kentucky, by adding a new section 16-2 pertaining to the designation of an authorized agent for billing, collection, and enforcement of occupational license fees and net profit taxes, all of which is now revoked.
I'll offer a motion for the second reading of ordinance 1957.
Thank you, Commissioner Atkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Terry. Discussion?
Would you like to explain this really quickly?
This is maintaining the existing relationship with the county in that the county collects those taxes and fees.
Any further discussion? Chair call the question. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Atkins,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Terry,
Yes.
Mayor Paris.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cottle.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we'll go to item 5, the tree lighting ceremony update. Continue on, Ms. Rader.
So this year, our tree lighting ceremony is going to be a bit different, as we're not going to be able to have the mayor's reception that we normally have. We're asking that any public that attends to social distance and wear your mask, and we're planning to do this December 4th at 6 p.m. That's next Friday. And we're planning to live stream it on our city Facebook page so that for the public that cannot attend can view it. And the Heart of Danville has also asked if they can live stream it on their page as well, so we'll allow them to do that.
Last year, we had a very nice musical performance. Are we going to attempt to do that this year?
We can. I don't know if anybody will be able to do so with the social distancing and the
That's why I asked the
restrictions.
question.
I
Yeah.
can reach out and
Yeah, the intention
see.
was just to keep it simple and go with a Facebook Live opportunity and
Maybe just some recorded music?
we could do that.
We have a CD that we have Christmas music. We can do that.
I'll do it. I'll sing.
Okay.
Yeah, Cottle can
Your old
sing.
band
Are you
can
going with the
play.
harmonica,
now.
Kevin?
Do what?
You going with the harmonica there?
Accordion.
Accordion.
So
my
we
bad.
have a band, right? We have
So,
Dexter on the keyboard,
Dexter,
He
Harris
won't
on
play
the
with the rest of us.
drums,
He won't wanna dig
guitar.
Snare. Who's on the snare?
so December the 4th at 6 p.m. at Whisker Plaza.
Yes.
Why are we doing it on the 4th?
All right.
Thank you.
Item 6 is the city manager report. Mr. Coffey.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. I want to start with the Thanksgiving guidance from the governor's office, just to continue to publicize it in that we all are being affected in our workplaces. It affects us for efficiency. From my personal perspective, I think that we have to be considerate of others, and certainly we want to acknowledge that the guidance provided to the city is that all events and activities, please wear your face mask, use hand sanitizing often, and maintain social distancing. The governor has also recommended to stay home as much as you can and limit travel, in that he's identified traveling and attending large gathering and also shopping in large crowds are being activities that he is asking that we try to limit and avoid. Having smaller dinners is recommended, and then we just wanted to say that out loud for the benefit of the community. 4th Street, we'll talk about the intersection at 4th Street where the wooden poles are. We picked that back up in September, and we have met with the utility companies. The hang-up right now are the wires, overhead electricity that travels down the street. We are going to relocate upwards the low-hanging communication wires, push those up the poles, make room for the mast arm for the new signal, and then we'll be able to proceed. So we've been working with those utility companies. Everything looks good. In order to do that, it will take some time, as they'll have to do some work orders internally. The parklets, we'll let Rick talk about that in a little bit. Fire station, you'll have your contractor on site next week to start to mobilize. So we'll start seeing footprints and activities over there. We're going to be trying to meet with the property owners next week. We reached out to one today, and just to walk around the site with the contractor, make our introductions, and let those folks know that we're trying to be a good neighbor and let them understand who the point of contact is with the contractor. The financial report that was normally scheduled for tonight will be delayed until the 14th. The information necessary for that was delayed because the auditors were here last week and finance didn't have the opportunity to assemble that report yet. The city clerk has informed us that the swearing in of the commission will be at, we are shooting for 12/14 at 4 p.m. So please mark your calendars for that. She'll follow up as she confirms attendance for that. And jobs, we have two engineering positions open, Parks and Rec director open. We wanted to give a quick update on those. Right now, both those processes are open and underway. The HR director and I will try to sit down Monday or Tuesday of next week and do a preliminary review of the applicants that we've received to date, and to see if we have sufficient supply of applicants to start both those hiring processes.
You think you can have those people in place by January 1?
It's possible, yeah. It depends on the meeting schedules, and engineering probably not, Parks and Rec director possibly. It depends on if we have an intermittent commission meeting late in December. It's possible, but likely it would be that first meeting in January. We steer everything towards that.
As one person, I'd like to get those, particularly the engineer position filled ASAP.
Yeah, it's definitely impacting us. No question. That's all I got.
Any questions for Mr. Coffey?
I just wanted to know what was happening with the economic development discussion. I know you had a meeting, Mayor, and I'd like to know how that went and if we're going to have any sort of workshop before the end of the year.
We're discussing that right now. We had a phone call with the mayor. We're trying to coordinate the information and assemble that. That's ultimately up to you guys when you want to meet as a group. And it feels like as I've looked at all the information provided to me, we need to have a specific presentation for that. And it probably will not be in the next couple of weeks. Probably we'll be able to discuss that on the 14th, scheduling that after I've talked to everyone. And so all the commission has individual questions, and so we're trying to assemble answers to all those questions. And so addressing those, it looks like that we'll be towards the end of December before we could actually have that meeting. So we can plan on discussing again on the 14th during the city manager report, and I'll give you a more profound update rather than just a quick reaction.
Okay. So it's really not possible to have anything before the 14th?
I don't think so, not given the feedback we've received so far.
Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you, sir. We'll move right into hear the public. This is the public's opportunity to raise any comments or issues about any matter they wish.
There are no comments.
Seeing none, we'll go right
She likes
into
it first.
commissioner comments. I'm gonna start on my left this time, Mr. Cottle.
Oh, past my time.
Uh,
I'm used to Rick having like a list of
Yeah.
most everything.
Rick should have sent us what he wanted to say.
Mhm.
Commissioner Terry?
Just wanted to wish everyone a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Commissioner Atkins?
I ditto what Commissioner Cherry just said.
This is a very unique and difficult time. If you are a retailer, most retailers capture a significant amount of their yearly business during the holiday time. I'm going to ask all of us, including the public, to shop locally as much as possible. I know there are times where it's easy to pick up the computer and go online and get it done.
You can do that locally now.
You can do a lot of things locally. And I'm not talking about just the downtown. There are many individual small businesses that go up 4th Street. And I'm not talking about just in Danville. I'm talking about Junction City, Perryville, whatever. We just need to do as much of that as possible because the fallout from this pandemic could be more serious than just health issues. Let me take an
Mr. Mayor,
opportunity.
that was well stated.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate that.
Let me take an opportunity to read a letter. November the 2nd, 2020, Dear Mayor and Commissioners, on behalf of the Boyle Fiscal Court, we thank you for allowing our departments to go through Walker Hall and assess if any leftover equipment was usable for the county. Because of your willingness to offer the surplus property to us, Perryville City has new chairs for the council chambers. Junction City found quite a bit for their new city facilities. And Boyle County Public Works, Detention Center, Tax Administration, and EMS are just a few of our departments that benefited. The spirit of collaboration between our local governments benefits the entire community, and I thank you for thinking of us. If we can do anything to reciprocate, please do not hesitate to contact my office. Cordially, Judge Howard Hunt III, Boyle County Judge Executive. I want to thank Earl for coordinating that thing with Walker Hall. And I want to thank the judge for taking time to personally write a letter to us. Collaboration is key. And collaboration is sometimes a difficult thing, but at the end of it, if you come out with an answer that people can live with, then that's good collaboration. But I do think we have to be mindful of a fact that we are all in the same boat together, and that's to serve the public. So I thank the judge and the Boyle County Fiscal Court for that letter.
I did have one more thing. I would just like to mention that our long-term tourism director, Jennifer Kirchner, is leaving that position and going on to new endeavors. And I would just wanted to acknowledge her hard work that she has put in and that our community is better for it. And I wish her the best. She will still be in the community, but just not working in the community anymore.
Nothing else, I'll move on to item 7, which is the bill list, and the chair will entertain a motion for the approval of submitted bill list.
I'll offer a motion to approve the bill list as submitted.
Thank you, Commissioner Atkins. Any second?
Second, in the amount of $101,945.42.
Thank you, Commissioner Terry. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 8 is resolution number 2020-11-23-02. This is the contract for the streetscape consultant. Mr. Coffey, this is a rather big one.
It is. The exhibit on page 5 of, well, it's Exhibit B, page 5 of their attached scope to their contract. We will look at that as we go through, if you'll take a minute and find that. The proposed contract is for Gresham Smith to provide the streetscape contract documents and final design for the streetscape within the area from 4th Street, just at Broadway, down to Walnut, on 3rd Street from the termination of the existing streetscape to the north side of the parking garage where the parking garage construction went to the existing, and then on Main Street from the Art Center to 2nd Street. It's a fairly large area, and it therefore is a little bit, total cost-wise, higher than the last phase, which was a smaller, much smaller footprint. The unit cost is in line with other streetscape projects, and it does match the effort that includes a traffic signal design at 2 intersections, 3rd Street, and also 2nd Street for the replacement of those mast arms and poles. We will be doing quite a bit of work with them, and we're looking forward to it if you all approve the contract. Any questions?
So we can get into questions. Let me have a motion
Motion.
and a second, please.
I motion to approve resolution 2020-11-2302, streetscape consultant.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Atkins. Thank you, Commissioner Terry. We are in questions, discussion.
So how is this going to be different from the other streetscape sections that we've done? I have several questions. Would you like them all at once?
No, go ahead, ask them all.
Is it possible to bury the wires instead of being overhead? And this will also, this was more of a statement, this will also tie in with our downtown master plan with making walkability easier, I'm guessing?
That is the main difference, is that it incorporates some of the theory inside of the downtown master plan, meaning we will probably have a few situations where the parklets become permanent, and that the parklet that's already existing might become a curb line that's permanent rather than a temporary platform, right? And also, you're going to look at substantial changes to the landscape plan. Strong indication from the Streetscape Committee as we went through the design before was that, and the Beautification Committee, as we've discussed the Main Street trees, we've talked about altering those with new vegetation. Most of you have noticed that they drop the fruit. It's fairly rank. That is increasing in number of trees that do that. The curb placement overall, so when the roadway went from 4 lanes down to 3, you'll notice the gap between the parking stall and the white line. So that provides an opportunity to widen the sidewalks. If that's what the contract ultimately, the Streetscape Committee and the community ultimately decides to do, then your curb could narrow. And so there's a lot of change. The overhead utilities on 4th Street are being considered and will be designed to be lowered. There'll be a lot of coordination with the utility companies on where that will end economically versus where you would like it to end. For example, Walnut is a major crossing, and so you may end up 1 or 2 poles just north of that intersection to prevent a lot of rework on the power side. On 4th Street, for example, if we get up north of the Subway building, we'll call it, you have the line that feeds City Hall slides in through those properties, and so we'll certainly try to relocate that as part of the project. And at some point, you would come back aerial behind this building to serve the houses that are actually on Broadway. And so it's going to be a complicated project and one that we believe Gresham Smith has the background to really do a good job.
Okay, now, we have submitted a streetscape, maybe not as broad as this one. And we've done it twice, we've been denied twice. What's gonna change on this one that gives us a better chance of getting the funding?
We've already been talking to the Transportation Cabinet and trying to, we really don't know when they will do another round of funding. But our hope is that we can use Gresham Smith and because we have them under contract, because we have a design underway or done by the time we get to them, that we will increase our likelihood of receiving funding. A lot of times those grants are distributed and it's 2-3 years, and so we're trying to cut that time down.
Understand, good job. What can we do? Beyond this with DOT, the legislators, what can we, what should we do?
Good communication will help. What I'd like to do is get a concept done, and so that we'll have a walking around document and pursue those communications when we have that. So we would like to get at least a concept within a couple months. So you're looking at by like February having a document you can start going and trying to receive funding, extra state funding, state contribution. In that Main Street is a state road, 4th Street is a state road.
The legislature meets when?
The spring, well, late winter.
January.
Yeah. and so
Like
we'll be-
February?
Yeah, correct. We'll be prepared by then.
Okay.
With something,
Okay,
right.
that's what I was getting at.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Any further questions or comments? Seeing none, the chair will call question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 9 is the report from the Public Services Department. Hello, Mr. Henry.
Hello. Thank y'all for the opportunity to listen to some of the work that we've been doing throughout the year. Y'all have a report in front of you, so I'm not going to read all of it, but just going to touch on some of the work that we've done. One of the larger jobs that was taken on was putting the 200-foot of drainage pipe in at Lexington and Harding, which pretty much alleviated a flooding issue that we had for a resident and the intersection that the other residents had to drive through. With the work there, we basically, with the sediment it covered, we uncovered quite a bit of sidewalk, and then we installed new corners and put ADA access that we did not have there. So that was a project that was, I think, fairly well done that the staff provided.
That's fairly new, isn't it?
Yes, yes, we just completed it
Right.
here
Right.
a few months back. The staff worked hard along with Rob Quayle on the new Corporate Drive walking trail. We've done 80 foot of drainage pipe, put in head walls, and we've been working on some of the final grade work and rock removal, getting that prepared and to go, and the bollards installed. We do and George Martin, if any of y'all have ever been around it, it had been blocked for a while. Now that the pavement is fixed, with the contractor, we went in and put in 175 foot of sidewalk that will now connect around to Highland Court, in which we will be receiving funds for our sidewalk work along with the road repair from leftover money from a bond, I think, with when that project was started with the original owner. We do a daily cleaning of storm drains around town. We figure about 1,580 drains per year that we clean and keep the top off of to keep our storm system working and going well. For helping utilities out, basically so far this year we've done 27 road cuts, 39 yard repairs, 8 sidewalks and 8 driveways. There's 6 sidewalks and 8 driveways that's repaired just due to utility work that happens, because when the utilities move on, we go back in and we dress and clean up everything and repair the roads. one of the larger jobs, which y'all see every day, that we done was putting the bullet-resistant glass in and lowering the counter heights. I thought the staff done really good on the work. The guys done great on it. Every season, we have to take and go to the splash pad. We remove the fixtures, store them for the winter, we put them back out, we winterize it, we perform all maintenance through it throughout the year. That park has been, I feel like, very well used since we helped with the installation of all of that. Just is leaf season right now. We pick up approximately 120 loads of leaves in our truck, which is a large truck, per year, and then we compost them, and around Arbor Day, we will be giving that away as composting. Was one of the projects that we do. Early on, when Codes was kind of financially strapped, we mowed, through 2 months, we mowed 15 properties for them that were grown up, and that now they're having contractors to do. But during the mowing seasons, we mowed 25 areas all year long that we maintain the city-owned areas. And we also maintain the mountain bike trail and the walking bike trails, the walking trails that we will go through and do all the tree trimming and anything that's down blocking them or anything of that nature. So far, we've had provided service for 74 funerals through the staff. We have built the one parklet that's on Main Street. Joe Condor done the welding of it, and the crew helped assemble. We done the woodwork on it. We poured all the concrete pavers and installed all the wood upon that. It says we maintain disc golf course and pads at Millennium. That's actually at Jackson Park. That's a typo, I think, for me. We also do a weekly trash route twice a week. We go to all the parks, which says 4, was actually 5. It's here in town, and the parking garage twice a week, picking up trash and emptying all the trash cans. We've got a sweeper truck driver that's you see on the streets daily, sweeping our curbs and making sure our roadways are clean. We've boarded up some condemned houses for Codes. And that's just kind of a partial look at what we do throughout the year. And they don't count the times that we come to City Hall and move furniture and put barricades out and help other agencies throughout the city with stuff that we do. Some of the upcoming projects, one thing that's kind of first on our list is the second parklet up on Main Street that we're going to try to get started on. I've just got to draw up the size and figure out exactly what materials we're going to use on it just yet, but it will be coming soon. So that's one of the bigger projects. East Main, we still got a connection to do on the sidewalk to finish the connection on it to put the two pieces together. And we're looking at Lexington Avenue to try to connect the sidewalks on the east side of it going up to get started on. Christmas lights are being installed as we speak, so everything should be lit. We was putting wreaths up today. The banners are up, and let's see. And we're going to work on. We've noticed that our cemetery signs are a little bit failing, so we want to upgrade them here in the near future. We want to work on the Larnell Harris signs, get them put up. We've still got plenty of road cuts and yards that we're going to be working on. We're going to work on raising our manholes. We got a contractor that we're talking with there, and we're working through Lindsay with sewer rehab, and we're going to start trying to make where we've done our paving to get their manholes up and going. We've got some drainage pipe to repair on Perkins that's coming up. That'll be a fairly good sized job. The tennis courts at Bunny Davis, the lights are up and on. But we've still got a few cracks repairs to do there yet. Trying to finish that up. We got to replace the floor and remodel a restroom yet this winter at the Bunny Davis Center. And we got a rather large storm drain project on Maple Tree Place that we're going to do that will connect and go through Jackson Park, and we'll finish draining that into Maple. So that's kind of where we're at the moment.
Thank you, sir.
So
You just don't have anything going on at all, do you?
Nothing at all. We just,
Rick, you forgot one. Do you want me to?
go ahead, what again? But there's still all kinds of projects and jobs that we do daily. That's kind of just a rough going over of what public services does throughout their day. And-
So let me ask a question. With respect to the water curtain at Whisker Park,
Yes.
what do we need to do to make that fully functional?
That is being looked at now. We have drained it for winterization, but the train of thought right now is there's a valve that is not working correctly, so the pump has been removed, and we're gonna look at whether the pump is functioning correctly along with at that valve. And then if that does not cure the problem, we are gonna look further in to see what we can do to make that. So next year, that is one thing that we do want function, will be the water curtain correctly, going all the way across. So that is one of our projects. But once cold weather hits, it's hard to leave the water in it
Right.
because you don't want to take a
Right.
chance on busting. We was a little bit late getting started on it.
You're on it. That's all we need to hear.
but
You're on
it
it.
will be taken care of.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you
Thank
all.
Great list, man.
How many people work in your department?
Right now, I think we're down to 11, counting me, I believe is what it is. We've got, usually we have 2 in cemetery. I've got 3 in storm care, which one of them's the sweeper truck driver. And then I've got 4, I think it is 4 or 5 that's actually in, just does the street department. But we all kind of have to do.
Right.
No one's really in
Cross-training.
one particular place, right? Everybody's doing everything. Just like when we have a burial, we may need
Right.
4 people, we may just need 2 people. So whatever's called upon on them, they do. We've got 2 guys that basically do all of our concrete work that you've been seeing done. We've not relied on any contractors for our concrete. They are very capable of doing head walls, sidewalks, driveways, anything of that nature that we have to do, they are very capable of doing. So we've been really lucky to have retained them.
Now, are you short-staffed? Are you missing some guys or girls?
We were missing a cemetery supervisor at the moment, and other than that, we would be considered full staff at that, once they're in.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay.
Rick.
Thank you.
Item 10 is resolution number 2020-11-23-03. This is a approval of a grant from Firehouse Subs. And here comes our firehouse guy now,
Thank you, Mayor,
Keith
Commissioner.
Simpson.
I'd just like to ask permission to apply for the Firehouse Subs grant. It's a $15,000 grant, non-matching funds, and that would be used for turnout gear, personal protective equipment for our firefighters. One set of turnout gear right now costs around $3,000 per set, so that would offset some of our budget costs. So,
Turnout gear is what?
bunker pants, bunker coat, helmets, things like that.
I move for approval of resolution 2020-11-2303.
Second.
Motion's made by Commissioner Cardle, second by Commissioner Terry. Any discussion? I thought you all were applying for years of Firehouse Subs.
Subs.
Y'all don't need those.
Now, that would be really awesome.
Does that come with it?
Yeah, good luck.
All in
Yes.
favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those like sign, motion carries. Item 11 is
Oh,
resolution
they were
number
going to feed us.
Resolution number 2020-11-23-04. This is a approval of a Apple developer account. Mr. Warren, proceed, sir.
Good evening. As a part of an implementation we're doing called C-Click Fix, that is a service that will allow citizens to submit service requests and notify us of issues throughout the community. As part of that, we're going to create an iOS and an Android app that'll be available free on both app stores. To submit the iOS app, we have to create an Apple developer account. As part of that process, there's going to be numerous times where we have to agree to terms of service for various softwares and APIs we utilize. So we're asking that the commission give me authority as IT director to approve those on behalf of the city instead of having to come back 4 or 5 or 6 times on each time we hit one of those steps.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll move to approve resolution 2020-11-2304 as presented.
Thanks, Commissioner Atkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cottle, thank you. We're in discussion.
Dick, I know several years ago, I started noticing these kind of vendors showing up at like the KLC convention and stuff. Did you look at others, or is this the one that just fits
We
best
did.
with our software?
We looked
or-
at several, and this is the one that stood out amongst all the rest, just as far as usability. And they actually create the app on our behalf instead of us having to go through a third party to get that done, so. it's
Okay.
kind of
So
a
does this
one-stop
cost
shop.
us anything?
It does. It's, the yearly cost for the service is around $5,000. That gets us 10 concurrent users, meaning 10 departments can use it at one time. Unlimited number of requests, unlimited app downloads.
So how does this benefit the public?
So this will allow them to, while they're out, they see a pothole, they can stop, snap a picture of it. They can geocode where they're at right there on their request, submit it. They'll get a response back if they choose to sign it, or they can submit it anonymously. But as we get things fixed or whatever, they'll get notifications back saying, this has been done. Rick or somebody can take a picture of the repair they did. They'll get that picture back to them,
Very neat.
so.
This is the more advanced version of that, the
We used to
original.
use a
Civic
service called
Plus.
Citizens Request Tracker through Civic
Yep.
Plus. This is, like I said, a more advanced version of that, and it allows us to have our own dedicated iPhone app instead of sharing with multiple other cities.
How are we going to publicize that?
We're going to start with letting Nick do a presentation at one of the commission meetings when it gets up and running, and then we'll do our PR, and we'll do try our best to get it out there into the public. But the key is it's a closer link between the citizen's call and the person that's going to be responding to that call.
Well, it'll be easy for us when we get stopped by a citizen to say, hey, put this up there. Just put it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can put it on there.
Because I try to take notes all the time, but this will be a lot quicker, I think.
Or better yet, provide you guys with cards that they can scan a QR code and it automatically downloads the app for them.
Well, there you go.
Now you're just talking crazy. Yeah, that's
Any
neat.
further questions or comments?
But this in particular is just to give Nick permission to be basically the administrator of
Yes,
that
allows me to
app.
sign off on the various, probably be 10 or 12 agreements we'll have to.
Keep us legal and all that.
And I'll work with Stephen on anything that I see that doesn't look,
Yeah.
actually probably all of them.
Yes.
but-
Sounds good, though.
It's allowing him to click the I accept the terms and conditions
Exactly.
button.
All that 30 pages in there, we'll let Stephen read.
Make sure you read all of those, Nick. Make sure you read it.
Mayor, I have one more thing. I was
We have to vote.
answering.
We have voted
Oh,
on
I'm
it.
sorry.
We gotta
I thought
vote.
you voted. I got it, Debbie.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Now, Mr. Coffey.
I was trying to make sure I didn't forget to tell you this. With the Streetscape Committee, we're going back to that streetscape discussion. The city has a streetscape committee. Some of those members will need to be reappointed as their terms have expired. We'll try to do that in December the 14th. Just to
Okay.
give you all a heads up, and we will work with you and the city clerk on that.
Okay.
Yep.
That completes our agenda for the evening. Unless there is need for an executive session,
We do have personnel, real quick.
I tried.
And I second it.
All in favor of, no, need a motion to move into executive session.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Yes.
Yes, you're the one that's got the new
Pass the
page here.
torch. Go
Now that I
ahead.
have my new cheat sheet I can actually read. This is for personnel? I will move that we go into executive session to discuss the personnel matter pursuant to KRS 61810-1F.
Motion's been made
Second.
by Commissioner Terry, second by Commissioner Cottle. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, like sign. We're in executive session. Motion to move back into regular session.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Cottle. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Commissioner Terry. Commissioner Atkins, something you want to say?
I moved with, adjourn. Nope, I'm just joking. No.
No.
No, we got to do something first.
Go ahead, Mr. Coffey.
We want to recommend the hiring of Dean Carpenter to the position of the Assistant Public Works Director.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
And Dean is a great guitar player, so you
Yes, he
might
is.
play
That
with
is-
him.
Yes.
He's an outstanding
Yeah,
guitar
he's
player.
like, yeah, he's next level.
I mean, I'm chopped liver, but you might play with Dean.
Yeah.
With that said, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Happy Thanksgiving.
Motion's made. Do I hear a second? Commissioner
Second.
Atkins?
Second to both.
Second, Mr. Cottle. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, like
I'm not waiting
sign.
on Mr. Atkins.
We are adjourned.